Native American people, that toxic TikTok trends, those people like Peaches, those people that are all on the sideline participating in it, who are part of a diaspora, meaning that they are not indigenous to the United States, y'all should have stopped fucking with Native Americans. And
you all have clearly been very active. I can see that. I've tried to ignore it, but at this point it's hard not to address because a lot of what's being said is coming across as genuinely unhinged. You, Treaty 6, Indian Prime, Nanaya, and the rest of your circle, we're just going to go ahead and put you on the sick and shut-in list because some of the things being said are completely out of line.
People are not educated to that level about the history of these groups like AIM, the Crow Dogs. You know what I'm saying? They're not. So we have to, when you learn something from somebody, you have to go and educate your people. Share that knowledge with your own people. But these people, I'll tell you too, they don't get educated to fight their oppressor. That's why they're classifying us, our natives who are light-skinned, they're classifying us as YT.
Let's start here. Many of the people in these TikTok spaces are actually white. It's important that you understand that the term light skin has a specific historical and cultural meaning within the black community. The individuals you're calling light-skinned are not light-skinned, they are white. For example, Uncle Always and his brother are white. That distinction matters. What's especially ironic is how people in your circle claim they don't have an issue with mixed people, yet turn around and tell an Afro-Indigenous person they don't look native. You've questioned whether a native tribe is legitimate because it has too many black enrollees, and even labeled another Afro-Indigenous person an ass-kisser simply for calling out anti-blackness. That contradiction speaks for itself. The pattern suggests that acceptance of mixed people only seems to apply when they are part white, like many of you in these spaces.
You know what I'm saying? They are. And again, that's race politics. You guys don't know anything but to look at our people and look at the color of our skin and tell us X, Y, and Z, we're not native no more, that you guys are mostly mixed. I heard the same narrative coming from those Mexicans down there, the Mexican indigenous population, the one that everybody wants to keep holding freaking hands with. I heard that same narrative coming from one just in the past two to 3 days since all this SHIT has been popping off on TikTok. Because mind you, I go around to live session. I pay attention. I've been paying attention since last year when they've been dragging my name through the freaking dirt, when they've been dragging my panel members' names through the dirt, right?
Then there's Micah. I've already addressed how openly racist she is. She's a white woman who claims to be native and has said that black people should have gone back to Africa after slavery. These are the kinds of people you associate with on TikTok. At the end of the day, this is white people engaging in harmful, racist behavior, plain and simple.
I got smart and I start paying attention to what they were talking about. I start doing my own research on my own. I start to see how much of this is factual information and how much of it is actually being used to feed a narrative for their, for them, right? Chicano liberation. Exactly. He is too. That's a whole Spaniard. That ain't no indigenous man. Neither is his wife. And they had the nerve to talk about how they're mad at us because we look more native than they do. We have the features more than they do. And we're just because we don't have blood quantum, but we have more blood than they do. Like, what I'm saying is race politics entails colorism, right? You can look at some of our faces and put our faces up against our relatives or somebody that is in our lineage that is, our ancestor, right? Put our faces up against our own ancestors and tell us we don't look like those people. But because our skin is lighter, which is a symptom, I don't want to say symptom, but an effect, right? Is an effect of assimilation. So if you're looking at natives up there in the north and you're saying they ain't dark skinned, they're not native, they don't have that much blood, you better think twice about what narrative you're pushing. A lot of us ain't mixed like that. And if we have one ancestor or an ancestor in maybe one generation and then a couple of generations back, that still don't classify us as YT. We still got a lot more blood than your people do. But we can't have those type of conversations with pretendians or people that are indigenous to outside regions because they get in their feelings. We're just speaking to them about the truth. the facts and what we know. This girl, Carolina, the YTest of them all, want to run around and talk about how all these sisters are not native. You're talking about Canadian natives. You're talking about me. You're talking about other natives in our communities like Mika. You know, who gave you the right to talk like that about our people? And you're mad because we're indigenous to this region and you keep trying to say and interject yourself as a person from this freaking region, and we put your ass in your place and we don't tolerate your crap and we don't give you space to keep running your mouth and telling lies and deceiving people. And then when we call the BLK community out and we tell them, if you guys really about unity, why in the hell do you keep platforming these type of people? We keep telling you over and over and over, this person is not a part of our community, and yet you keep platforming her. What is it that she's doing for you? Because really at the end of the day, if you had to keep your fingers so close to them like that, you know what I'm saying? If you had to keep promoting somebody like that, helping her cause, and you don't even come up into Native Lives and tap our screen for us. But you know how many of our real brothers and sisters I see go up into those lives and be tapping their screens? Dean Gullah Maroon, OHF, you know how much real natives actually go up in there and tap their screens and promote their stuff and stand in solidarity with them? Even just yesterday, I saw a sister who was upset about the whole Carolina thing, ready and willing to go into Dean Gullah Maroon's live. Like, what are we doing here?
It also needs to be said that Londa does not represent the Native American community, nor do her friends. The use of slurs, including the N-word, is not reflective of Native values or communities in any meaningful way. Honestly, if black spaces bother you all that much, it might be best for you to stay out of them. The constant intrusion, combined with this behavior, isn't helping anything. And to be frank, you and Treaty 6 really come across as having main character syndrome.
Why do we have to be in their spaces? Why can't we be in our spaces supporting each other? Tell me when you're having a live session. I'll go up in there. I'll tap your screen. I bet you all of those people that have live sessions will not ever tell you that I haven't been up in their lives tapping their freaking screens. I don't do this crap where I go into the live and just sit there and listen to the gossip. I go up in there and I'll tap their screen for them, because I want their voice to be heard. And that's what we have to start doing. If you know a person is an actual native, go and support them. And I'm not talking about the people from outside regions anymore. I'm sorry, but y'all did a lot of damage to the American Indian population here within the states, speaking over us, speaking for us, as if you are like us when you are nothing like our people. You have not the same standing as our people do. So, you know, that's my whole spiel on that. But you know, Uncle Always, he was over there. I had to listen to his live session. As a matter of fact, I was sent the live session earlier where he was talking about the receipts on Carolina. Her dad apparently was claiming to be Cherokee when he had the same 501c3. Ain't that funny? She says and claims that her dad is the one that has Apache. Ain't that funny? That shit is funny to me. But yet you guys want to keep platforming a whole ass pretendian and tell me why in the hell No More Pseudo keeps sitting there co-signing for her. He's the biggest co-signer for her in their community. Oh, I seen her lineage. Oh, I seen her heritage. I seen her ancestry. And so I know, and blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but she still ain't us. She still ain't us no matter how much you try to validate her. She ain't never gonna be one of us. And so when you support people like that, you ain't doing nothing but harm to the community you claim to be a part of, right? Claim to be a part, you're fighting for indigenous people and, oh, you're representing for the BLK community. No, you're not. And no, you ain't about unity. You ain't about true unity, because if that was the case, you'd be holding that girl accountable for being a freaking pretendian. A lot of us natives on this app, if we all really had to sit down, let's go and have a freaking gathering in person, No More Pseudo, Dean Gullah Maroon, let's go do all that crap. We can show you our BQ. We can show you our freaking family lineages. And then you compare that shit to Carolina's stuff. And you tell us that we ain't justified in telling you to get her the hell off this app. Tell us that then. But yesterday, she was over there flexing her muscle at Native Mamas, talking about how Native Mamas was disenrolled. You still ain't got no business talking to none of ours like that. None. You ain't got no business talking about Native mamas. That ain't your business. No matter who it came from, whether it came from our freaking community talking about her or not. My personal issue with Native mamas is that she felt that it was right and rational to go and sell drugs to her own people. And the crap that she did to Oaxaca. That's what my issue with her is. That's very predatory of her. That shouldn't be acceptable in our societies. I'm a single mother. I ain't never had to stoop that low for my kids. I hustle and grind all day long for my freaking kids. I try even when I'm at the bottom of the freaking barrel. And the same thing with Carolina. How in the hell are you going to turn around and go and operate a 501c3 under the indigenous banner and then have the nerve to embezzle that money or misappropriate those funds? And you say that you're about indigenous people. You should be ashamed of yourself, and anybody supporting your ass on this app should be ashamed of themselves too. Because if it was a BLK person who did the same shit to your guys' community, oh, believe me, they would have prosecuted him, not wanted nothing to do with him, been on this app going all crazy about it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to our people, when we bring this, they want to be quiet. Crickets, nothing, no unity, no solidarity, ain't nothing coming from your guys' side. And you guys utilize this girl to represent the Native community? You ain't a part of us. I'm sorry that you guys want to sit there and go so hard for a freaking pretendian. And then she want to call actual natives broke. She called me broke. Well, let's see your freaking bank account, girl. Let's see your bank account. But I'll tell you one thing. Between me and you, I ain't never had to do the lowly ass shit that she had to do, right? I ain't never had to do that lowly ass shit like her to make $1. Everything I got is freaking honest. She ain't nothing but a thief and a freaking grifter. She's hustling the BLK community for support, for money. That's why she runs so hard for them. Because it ain't about the fact that she's she's anti-racist, right? She don't want people to be racist to black people. It really ain't about that. They just too dumb to freaking see that she's hustling them for financial support because she fucked up when she embezzled that money. I just watched her in 2 different live sessions within this past week talking about how, can you guys please help me get my, weekly payout? I really need it. I really appreciate it, you guys. Right? She was doing that. There's a whole video. And then there's another freaking thing where she was talking about, No More Pseudo was in a live session thinking they was having a private conversation, but we can all see you. She was in that freaking live session with No More Pseudo talking about how, on my bank card, Mom. I think it's in the car. So she was in a whole freaking live session talking about how, what do you call it? With No More Pseudo, and they were talking about getting her some money together. Why do you guys have to help her? She ain't a part of your community. Because she damn sure can't turn to our community. That's why. Because nobody respects her and nobody likes her. And she stole from our people that she supposedly represents. But it's a double standard, you know. You guys will sit there and freaking support her all day. You'll allow her to go in your panels and mute our people because she can't stand the fact that people are pushing back and bringing light to who she is. She don't want that spotlight on her. She should have stopped messing around with Native American people. That toxic TikTok trends, those people like Peaches, those people that are all on the sideline participating in it, who are part of a diaspora, meaning that they are not indigenous to the United States. Y'all should have stopped fucking with Native Americans and stopped running that damn narrative. If you don't think that our people are out there watching every single one of your guys' live session recording and freaking putting the information together, you guys are freaking sorely mistaken.
I have to jump in here and ask Londa a serious question, because it's always interesting when people try to present themselves as intellectual without actually making sense. Londa, what exactly are you talking about? Can you clearly explain who or what you believe is rage-baiting you? And more importantly, can you articulate how being called out for anti-black behavior somehow undermines the tribal sovereignty of American Indians in the United States? It's like you put these words together in an attempt to sound intelligent, but you didn't quite hit your mark, dear. Either you're on drugs or you have a chemical imbalance, because what the entire fuck are you talking about?
I said the same shit on Jocko's live too, and I wasn't playing around. I'm done freaking playing nice with these pretendians, and I'm sick and tired of playing nice with the BLK community when you ain't holding yours to the fire. And I'm sick of you guys freaking utilizing people like Carolina to misrepresent us because she is not a representation of our people. Y'all don't want the real ones. They don't want the real ones. Oh, and the other thing, I was, watching the live session the other day too. And you know what? Here's the funny thing that goes with the toxic TikTok trends. Why in the hell do you guys always have to operate under, fake profiles?
Are you serious? Is she fucking with me, or did she just say she and her friends were watching all of us?
If you don't
Okay.
think that our people are out there watching every single one of your guys' live session, recording, and freaking putting the information together, you guys are freaking sorely mistaken.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Why do you guys have to do that? Why can't you just be yourselves and freaking show us who you are? See, that's the difference between them and us. People like us, just showing our face to everybody, them knowing that possibly what area we're in, we are putting ourselves in the line of danger, right? Because how many people did they freaking, try to unalive over this pretendianism and misclassifying information because things got heated on on TikTok, right? When it became to heated arguments, they tried to go after our activists and in real life, pew pew and unalive them. So we put our faces out there and we push back on this because we're hoping that this shit is going to stop, that somebody's going to put an end to it. And yet they say 6 years, 10 years, 15 years, this shit's been going on. And you know what? Every single one of those communities, I'm sorry to say, because I would say TikTok within the past years, the first year that I actually came in contact with this crap to this level. This is freaking atrocious. This is fucking horrendous. This is heartbreaking. This is fucking discouraging. All of these communities who try to say, oh, well, we're battling pretendians. We've been in the game for how many years? Why is that? Why is that you've been in the game of this freaking pretendian battle for all these years, right? Why is it? Because you didn't do shit to stop it. You knew you could have stopped it. There were ways to stop it from happening, but you didn't do shit to stop it because you saw a profit. They saw a fucking profit off of us. And that's all it is. Like I said, it's a financial grift. So Carolina's over there looking like the hero to the BLK community, and then she stands in solidarity with the natives. Bullshit. It ain't nothing but a financial grift for you people. That's why the fuck it ain't stopped. Talk to some real ones. Talk to some fucking real ones and we'll tell you what's up. But our activists shouldn't be being threatened over this. You got pretendians like freaking, what was her name? Harley Mother Effin Quinn, who just went to jail for freaking falsifying information to a police officer or law enforcement, right? And she was on this app freaking doxing Native women like it was her freaking job to do so. And it wasn't a damn problem to anybody in any outside community.